Hey there, it's CJ Wheeling and I'm cracking a pack. Today is pack number 1 of my Magic the Gathering Core Set 2019 bundle bingo. Check out the preview video on my Core Set 2019 bundle. I've added a link to the preview video in the description below. As I crack the pack, my viewpoint will be from a very casual Magic the Gathering player perspective. It will not be the viewpoint of Pro Tour or even Friday Night Magic grinders. It will be a kitchen table game of Magic, having fun with friends opinion. So as a reminder, here's my bingo card. Move that out of the way. Let's get pack number 1 out and get to cracking. First card out of the pack is Uncomfortable Chill, 3 mana, 2 and a blue. It's an instant. Creatures your opponents control get -2, -0 until end of turn. Draw a card. Pretty cool combat trick in blue. Giving all your opponent's creatures -2, -0 is going to dwarf their power and quite possibly allow you to take out some of their creatures. Being able to replace itself in drawing a card makes the card playable. Next up is Goblin Motivator. Single red mana. It's a Goblin Warrior at 1/1. You can tap it. Target creature gains haste until end of turn. I like this card quite a bit in red, especially if it's paired with red-white. In an aggressive deck, playing this on turn 1 and then ensuring any of your future creatures have haste, which is exactly what the red-white aggressive strategy wants to do. Daybreak Chaplain, 2 mana, 1 and a white, human cleric at 1/3. It has lifelink. In Core Set 2019, white-black had a very strong lifelink theme. I don't mind playing this in limited, but it doesn't really have a home in constructed because there are stronger cards that have lifelink. One of our Core Set favorites, Duress, single black mana, sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Duress is a perfectly fine card to play in constructed. It's a cheaper version of like a Thoughtseize or Inquisition of Kozilek, especially if you're going to be against a player that features instant sorceries and planeswalkers. Duress is a strong card. Another Core Set favorite, Plummet, 2 mana, 1 and a green, instant, destroy target creature with flying. Plummet has a lot of uses. It's stronger in limited, especially if you're playing against someone that's got flyers, but Plummet can be a good sideboard card and constructed as well. Ghost Form, 2 mana, 1 and a blue, sorcery. Up to 2 target creatures can't be blocked this turn. This gives blue a late game push through damage win effect. Being able to choose 2 of your bigger creatures to get through and deal those last points of damage makes Ghost Form a strong common. Angel of the Dawn, 5 mana, 4 and a white. It's an angel at 3/3. It has flying. When Angel of the Dawn enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance until end of turn. For a common creature, it's a nifty trick. Being able to give your entire board +1/+1 in vigilance allows you to go in for a big attack and then have some blockers left behind to hold down the fort until your next attack. Aviation Pioneer, 3 mana, 2 and a blue, human artificer at 1/2. When Aviation Pioneer enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. Aviation Pioneer is a good common because you get 2 bodies with 2/3 stats. It gives you a 1/1 flyer in the air to ping away some damage, and a 1/2 on the ground that can just be there for chump block duties. Next up is Havoc Devils, 4 mana, 2 and 2 red. It's a devil at 4/3. It has trample. In a red-green strategy, Havoc Devils does a lot of work. Having trample is pretty good. Being able to put an enchantment or equipment on top of Havoc Devils just adds to the power level and gets through extra damage. Gearsmith Guardian, 5 generic mana. It's an artifact creature construct at 3/5. Gearsmith Guardian gets +2/+0 as long as you control a blue creature. Pretty narrow. You need to have a blue creature to even make this playable. But in the limited format, this was a pretty strong creature. If you're in blue, you had a 5/5. Our first uncommon is Ravenous Harpy, 3 mana, 2 and a black. It's a harpy at 1/2. It's a flyer. You can pay 1 generic mana, sacrifice another creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Ravenous Harpy. This card has the ability to get out of control. If you're playing in a deck where you have plenty of sacrifice fodder, pretty soon this is going to grow to a 2/3, a 3/4, a 4/5, and at that point it becomes a flyer that your opponent has to deal with. If not, they're going to lose the game pretty rapidly in the air. Our next uncommon is Infernal, Hellion. At 4 mana, 3 in a red. It's a Hellion with Trample. It's a 7/3. At the beginning of each end step, if Infernal Hellion attacked or blocked this turn, its owner shuffles it into their library. I really think this card is a trap because you're going to be spending 4 mana on it. Sure, it's got Trample. Sure, you might deal some damage, but it just seems to be a waste of resources to play this. You attack with it. Maybe they don't block, you get 7 damage in. That's Christmas land. If they do block, maybe you get 2 or 3 points of damage through. Shuffle it into your library. Our final uncommon is Gargoyle, Sentinel. At 3 generic mana, it's an artifact creature. Gargoyle at 3/3 has Defender. You can pay 3 generic mana, and until end of turn, Gargoyle Sentinel loses Defender and gains Flying. It really is cost intensive in that it's 3 to play and it just blocks, and then it's an additional 3 every time you want to attack. Similar to Infernal Hellion, I think it's a trap. Okay, will we get a great rare or mythic rare to start out this bundle? We have Alpine Moon, single red mana enchantment. As Alpine Moon enters the battlefield, choose a non-basic land card name. Lands your opponent's control with the chosen name lose all land types and abilities, and they gain tap, add 1 mana of any color. I could see it being a sideboard option against decks where you know there are specific lands that you need to take care of that have activated abilities, and being able to lock it down so it simply just adds mana instead of having other abilities. For instance, this works really well against the creature lands in the Zendikar block in the battle for Zendikar block. You put this enchantment out there, you name Hissing Quagmire. Now Hissing Quagmire just taps for any color of mana versus becoming a creature with Death Touch. Okay, then we have the Nicol Bolas checklist card and a 1/1 bat token. My favorite card or best card out of the pack, unfortunately this time around, is going to be a common. I played quite a bit with Aviation Pioneer and found that it was a pretty strong common. If you have the ability to flash it, every time you do so, you're going to get a 1/1 Thopter. Even for 3 mana, getting a 1/1 Thopter out there is no joke. It can ping away for damage. I found that in the limited format in Core Set 2019, Aviation Pioneer was a pretty strong card, and it was surprising how well I could utilize the Thopter, and Aviation Pioneer became a nice chump blocker to save me some damage as I set up my game plan. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please subscribe and share. Take some time to tell me in the comment section what was your favorite card or best card out of the pack. Until next time, when I'm back to crack pack number 2 from my Magic the Gathering Core Set 2019 bundle in Bundle Bingo.